I've tried to record this video so many times, so I'm just gonna use whatever happens and hopefully I won't edit much. So when we wrapped our last two videos, I felt really sort of perplexed by the picture that I had painted of myself as an incredibly rigid person. And don't get me wrong, like I'm a very structured person. There's a lot of structure in my house, tripod, in my house and in my life, but it's not the whole picture. And I had called Syd originally to ask if we could make a short film of the way that her brain works. And you'll see Syd's short film and understand why I was interested in doing that. Syd has one of my favorite brains in the world. And Syd was like, well, why don't we make a video about the way that your brain works and the way that my brain works, and we'll just put them together. And I've tried piecing so many different things together for this, and I realized that I just want to tell you a story, actually. So I was born in Colombia, and from jump, I was an incredibly homesick child. Like, even before my family sort of started splitting time between France and Colombia and the US, I would wake up like perpetually homesick. And of course we couldn't name it. Like, I would like weep at my mom, like not really understanding. You know what I mean? Like, I would weep at my mom, like, I'm so homesick, I'm so homesick, at the age of 2, and I had only ever known one home. And so eventually, by the time that my family started splitting time, that homesickness became tangible. It became like the particular way. I was homesick for like mornings. I was homesick for a particular kitchen table in the morning. I was homesick for the sort of like hustle and bustle of my family at home with my dad getting ready for work. I got homesick for sacred morning moments that I couldn't yet name as a child. But the homesickness was always a lot more deep than that. It was always like I just didn't understand why I was alive again. And eventually, as I grew into adulthood, I ended up being able to sort of name it. Sometimes I believe that that there is a world in where like souls are standing, sort of like waiting in line for their body. And happily so, you know, they've gone, maybe it's their first time descending upon earth, maybe they've been here a couple times, but regardless, there's like a line and they're all waiting for their body and they're thrilled about it. And sometimes I feel like I was like a guard, you know, like someone who was like telling people where to go up there, you know, because I had done my rounds of being in human existence, like because I had done the thing and now I could just like help people. And I feel like I was like on duty, and one of the souls that was like waiting in line for a body like pushed me in the hole where like souls descend onto bodies, and I wasn't ready. Sometimes I feel like someone pushed me and I wasn't ready, and I like got down here, came into this body, and I was like, again? Like, I thought I was done with this body thing. I thought I was done with this like human existence thing. So I think that's the homesickness that I felt as a child that I couldn't yet name, which is just like, I just wanted to like get back up there. I didn't understand why I was alive again, in a way. And that has fueled a lot of my depression. I think sometimes I just don't understand. Sometimes that's what the pit of despair feels like. I just don't understand why I'm here again. And so in order to combat that in my life, I've had to give my life a deep, deep sense of purpose and meaning. And this ties into my sobriety. I was born to very similar parents. To me, I think both of my parents are really melancholy in their own beautiful, vivacious, like fastidious ways. I think that I was sort of taught that life was supposed to feel like one giant cocaine high, and that if it didn't feel that way, then we were doing it wrong. And so that translated into my constantly chasing purpose, because otherwise I was going to feel the thing again of like not really understanding why I was here again. I was so afraid of mundanity. The mundane really terrified me, like doing laundry and cutting an apple and things that legitimately made me feel the most human. So terrified of experiencing those things in other people. Just so funny, because now it's not like that at all. But sobriety, for me, in sobriety, I had to learn that like life is mostly really mundane, sort of like punctuated by these moments of exuberance. Yeah, I have to make lists and I have to give myself a sense of purpose, because otherwise I'm afraid that I'll just fall below it again. Otherwise, then I start to wonder again why it is that this happened again. You know, like, again? You're telling me I have to do this again? I feel that a lot. So I can't let myself feel that a lot. Otherwise, I don't think I would survive it, which is really the reason I got sober. So, yeah, I have to make lists. I remember one time I went to this healer with a friend, this very woo-woo LA healer, and it was my first time there. And my friend and I were waiting in the lobby, and I was telling her this. I was like in the midst of like a deep depression at the time. And I was like telling her this story. I was like, sometimes I just like can't believe it. Like, oh my God, we're doing it again. And my friend's an actor, and she was like, you know, sometimes when we're on set, we'll like go through so many takes, and then the director will say like, hey, just try one last one for fun. Just for fun, just try it. And that's often the take that we end up using. So maybe this lifetime is just your one for fun. Just for fun. And maybe this is the one that they'll end up using. So that's why I'm as structured as I am. I had to normalize being alive. Okay, I hope that makes sense.